One of the things I'm famous for is the Dumpling Burgers.
Hello and welcome to this bonus episode of my podcast, Tom Sips into Conversation With. This is an episode I recorded quite a while back, and it's linking in with the next episode of Historic Cooking, which is a show that I'm working on with the Herbert Art Gallery and Museum. This is a really good conversation. I got to chat to Esmie from Leave It to Esmie's. She is a restaurateur who works in Coventry. She has a wonderful Caribbean restaurant in Fargo, which is this little kind of like independent-y kind of place over in Coventry. She does amazing Caribbean food, and with the episode of Historic Cooking, where we're doing an episode about two-tone and how two-tone music was inspired by kind of British punk and Caribbean ska. And I kind of wanted to do that with my food. I wanted to have an English classic and then have a bit of a Caribbean twist. And as someone who doesn't really know too much about Caribbean food, I really wanted to talk to someone who does know about Caribbean food and do it respectfully and making sure that we have like a really nice fusion and the flavours work really well together. So this is my conversation with Esmie. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Esmie. I have a restaurant in Coventry called Esmie's. With Esmie's, we do street food in Birmingham, and we were invited down to Fargo Village to do a street food event. I think it was rum and reggae. And when we came down, people were so fascinated with our twist on Caribbean food that we used to have queues going through Fargo Village Gate. So then they offered us this unit here. We absolutely love Fargo. It's like the creativeness of it. It's so much like what the urbanness of it is what we love about it. So when I opened the restaurant, it was about teaching people that it's not Jamaican. The Caribbean is just not Jamaican. The Caribbean is the Caribbean. There's so much to it, so many different islands. The cuisine is all different. Before I came to England, I never, ever tasted ackee. I never tasted Jamaican curry patties. Our patties in St. Kitts were more like empanadas, right? So it's more fried, it's filled and fried, where the Jamaican patties are baked, and I don't really like Jamaican patties, to be honest.
Fair enough. You've kind of grown up with a different style, haven't you? So
yeah. That's the thing. And where jerk is concerned, I've never heard of jerk, believe it or not, until I came to England. It was like, what is jerk? We don't have, where the island I'm from, we don't have too much spice in our food. Our food is not spicy at all. So it was like trying to get used to this spiciness that's in the food. So I decided that the restaurant going to be about the cuisine that complements all the Caribbean islands as well as Jamaica. So St. Martin, it's half Dutch, half French. It's multinational. You got the Spanish, the Haitian. So the cuisine is so different. So I brought some of that in here into the restaurant. And one of the things I'm famous for is the Dumpling Burgers, right? So I started that trend in England. So you go around now and you find a lot of Caribbean restaurants doing it. And how we came up with that was we were doing street food at Edgbaston Stadium in Birmingham. And we ran out of rice and peas, and we had all this curry mutton and jerk chicken, and no rice and peas. And we had these Trinidadians, because it was like cricket match. And these horde of Trinidadians just standing there so angry. I said, well, how can you run out of rice and peas? What are you doing? And then my husband then started slapping up some big dumplings, right, that he normally does at home for us. We have these dumplings and we fill it with saltfish and ackee and stuff. So he slapped up these big dumplings, and then that's how we came up with our Caribbean burgers, and then we started promoting it. But at the time we were promoting it, it was like stuffed dumplings. And then I read an article that said the English will do anything for a burger. So we changed the name to Caribbean Burgers, and that was a revelation.
That's amazing. Because we ordered some of your food on Saturday. We had a Deliveroo thing.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, my experience with Caribbean food is very limited. I haven't tried that much, apart from like a few food festivals where they're like grilling, and it takes up the whole kind of like food festival, and it smells amazing.
Yeah.
And we were tempted with a burger, but because like I do a lot of burgers, we thought we'll try something a little bit different. But now I'm wishing we did go for one of the burgers, because they do look incredible, and they do look a bit different to like what I would normally do. But yeah, we tried the mutton, and we tried chicken. We had some chicken wings. We tried your fries, and we're going to go through some of the food in a minute because
Okay.
yeah, the idea of the episode is we're doing a two-tone inspired meal because we're doing a two-tone episode of historic cooking, and I know that two-tone music was inspired by kind of English kind of music, and then heavily inspired by Caribbean music as well. So that's why I want to like do. My idea is a roast dinner, like a classic English roast dinner, but have Caribbean flavors and that inspiration kind of going through it. So we're going to go through food in a bit, but yeah, it's really cool hearing your story there. So whereabouts are you from? Are you from Birmingham or?
From Birmingham, yeah. I was born in St. Kitts, and I came to Birmingham when I was 19. Yeah.
That's cool. And then fairly recently moved to Coventry. Are you living in Coventry now, or are you just?
I live in Birmingham.
Yeah.
But the restaurant is here, it's Coventry, but we do street food as well, which is based in Birmingham. Yeah.
Okay, so you got the two. You got this site and then street food. Amazing. That's cool. What kind of memories do you have of kind of Caribbean food?
In the Caribbean, when I'm in St. Kitts, I remembered going down to the beach on a Sunday with my mom and my brothers, and my brothers diving for whelks. Yeah. And my mom put in a big pot of rice and peas, but then in there she put like pigtail and all these sort in the rice and peas, and it's cooked on like 3 rocks with sticks underneath it. And I think it's the best food ever because you get that lovely smoky smell and taste. So when I'm cooking my food, and this is the reason why in the restaurant we have a charcoal barbecue, because you just have to have that authentic taste in order to replicate my childhood and the taste that I remembered. So when I'm cooking, and that it's all about, I don't know how to explain it. When your grandmother and your mother cook a meal in the Caribbean, it's so earthy and so, I don't know how to explain it. So I try and remember my taste buds and everything. And when I'm cooking, I try to make sure that I get all of that in there as much as I can, so that it doesn't taste like, the food should taste home cooked.
No, I get that. I mean, the char. We really enjoyed that kind of charry nussie you get from the grill. Like,
yeah,
there's not that many places that like they'll have a kind of grill, but they like the fact that you're using charcoal. You can really like just add something else to the food, which is what I'm going to see if I can try and work out something I can do with a charcoal element.
I think recently I tried to buy a coal pot. Right, because I wanted one at home, because I remember my mom putting like sweet potatoes under the coals and stuff like that and letting it cook while there's a pot on top of that. And I thought, oh wow, I would love to do that. Yeah. That's
cool. Yeah. Yeah. I've got it's like an electric smoker that I don't tweak around with because I think the heating element's gone. I know it's a bit of a cheat rather than using an actual like slow cooker, but it's a little bit more consistent. And I want to. I kind of want to do something maybe a little barbecuey, but I want it so that people can try and replicate the dish easy at home.
Yeah, that's right.
So what's the kind of spice and flavor profile that you kind of remember? Because like you said, you don't seem to use a lot of spice, and we had like the medium wings, and they were more flavorful than spicy, I would say. But yeah, what would you say your kind of flavor profile is?
Well, everybody's when with the restaurant, I try to cater for everybody's taste. So I sort of use the way that Nando's go, right? So if you order in, you can have it whether you want it mild, spicy, or jerk. So it gives people the option. So in terms of flavor profile, I just go with the flow. Yeah. So I make my own spices and stuff. So we got the barbecue, we got the curry. In St. Kitts, what we actually did were more like the barbecue, and we used a lot of clove and cinnamon, but without the Scotch bonnet.
Because I was trying to, when I was eating your chips, I was trying to work out what kind of flavors you had going on in there, and like I was kind of getting kind of smoked paprika, kind of garlic and onion powders going on, like granules. There was something sweet, and now you said cinnamon. I'm wondering if that sweetness is. I don't know if you got cinnamon or.
No, there's no cinnamon in that, but there is a bit of sugar in that.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. I was like definitely getting something kind of sweet. I wasn't sure whether it was like a sweet smoke, like paprika, and then like parsley and rosemary are the kind of the herbs parsley, that I was kind of going.
Parsley, yeah.
Obviously, I don't want to. I'm not going to like reveal all your secrets, but like those were the flavor profiles that I was kind of getting. Is there anything I've kind of like? I don't know if you had like a little bit of cayenne or.
There was just some thyme and thyme as well,
I knew there was like another kind of like more kind of hearty green herb, and I thought it was rosemary, but thyme. Cool. I'm going to make a note of that. I would love to talk to you a bit about plantains, because like I had in my head the idea of doing like a roast potato plantain thing. I've kind of realized that roasting them wouldn't really work as well. But how do you like to cook plantains, and are there any like tips or like hints you could give out?
Recently I did a Mother's Day menu where I used plantain in the roast. So, but I had to pre-fry them and then mix them with the roast potato. So it was like roast potato and sweet potato, and sort of mix them together, which turned out really nice. But normally, if you go to like the Spanish, they would do tostones, which is half-ripe plantain. You could go with green plantain or half-ripe plantain, where they're twice fried. So you fry them, you smash them, and then you fry them again. And then those are served nicely with dips and stuff. But typically, it's just fried plantain. There's even ways of doing like plantain lasagna and stuff that I've been messing about with.
Because I was thinking after the meal, like it could work really well in a nut roast, like if you were doing like a vegetarian thing.
Ooh.
Rather than using like a sweet potato or a parsnip or something to like help bulk it out. I think that like frying it off and then putting that into a nut roast, I think would work really well. And I think it's an idea I'm going to look into before. Like
that sounds nice. Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah.
Do you have like a roast dinner equivalent, like a Sunday roast equivalent in kind of the Caribbean?
So, like English, they do what? 2 veg, 1 meat. Caribbean, we do 2 meat, 1 veg. So Sunday roast dinners would be roast potato, and we'll have mutton, roast chicken, or we'll have oxtail roast chicken, but chicken is always part of it. And then we'll change from rice and kidney beans to rice and gungo beans, and then mac and cheese. It's just a must, and that's it really.
Okay, that's good to know.
That's our Sunday dinner. That's our special dinner on Sunday.
That's good to know that you use like chicken's one of the main ones because
Yeah.
I wanted to do a roast chicken, but I was thinking about I'm a big fan of I like to break up my chicken before I roast it because then I feel like it cooks a little bit more evenly rather than just having a whole bird.
Yeah,
but, I was thinking about using. Ideally, we want to get some of your your rub that you sell,
Yeah.
and then rub the chicken with the kind of like your seasoning, and then roast that off. And I'm thinking about doing. I don't know whether to get too fancy with the gravy and do like a separate gravy where we have some like chicken wings that are seasoned, and then cook them, roast them off with some onions and some peppers, some garlic, and then smash that up and then turn that into a really nice thick like chicken gravy. And then I was thinking about doing some kind of pea side, whether that be like some kind of pea puree or and then roast potatoes. And then I was thinking about maybe doing that plantain. How do you say it? Sorry, I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
Plantain.
Okay.
Yeah.
As like a little nut roast as like a potential veggie option or a side.
So our version of the pea puree would be stew beans. So kidney beans, stew peas we call it, and that would be So that's just stewed down with the garlic and the onions and stuff, and that is served on the side with the rice. But mainly we use that when you're just cooking a plain rice.
That's cool. I might have to experiment a little bit because, I kind of want it to feel like most like familiar for people. Yeah. But with that kind of like kick of flavor.
I think one of the things you may consider if you're going to go down the lines of roast chicken would be to do brown stew sauce, a brown stew gravy. So where you roast off the wings and stuff so you can get the flavor out of those. And you do your onions and stuff with a little bit of gravy browning. And so like people are more familiar with brown stew gravy, and I think that would work well.
That sounds like a really good idea. Yeah. Definitely give that a go. I feel like in a non-COVID world, I really wanted to try and get like you and some of your staff or whatever over and have like a big outdoor dinner, but I feel like because of COVID, it's just going to be a bit difficult. But hopefully in the summer when things are a bit more available, hopefully, we would love to be able to cook for you.
That sounds good.
Yeah. And I think because we took a few photos, but the lighting in downstairs is not very good. So we definitely at some point when things are open, I think we're going to try and get me and my partner, who is the communications officer, who you guys have been talking to as well. I want to try and get a few people over and order a bunch of stuff as well and try and get that into the episode if I can.
It's like what we try to do here as well is about veganism. So what I started to do when I opened, what made us so popular is the fact that if a vegan and a meat eater actually come to the restaurant, they could basically, we do like vegan curry mutton and regular curry mutton. So they both could have virtually the same kind of meal going on. And I'm trying to expand a lot more on the vegan menu that we do, because I remember when I was vegan, it was so limited, so now I'm just really keen on pushing vegan Caribbean food more.
That's cool. What do you use for your kind of vegan meat?
So we do like soya, and there's for the vegan mutton, it's like a soya and mushroom base. So we use that, and for the chicken, it's more soya base. And I've been practicing lately with the seitan as well to try and get more options in there. And especially for the Sunday roast, I'm trying to replicate the roast beef.
Yeah, seitan is something that I really want to experiment with because it seems like a really good alternative for meat. And like it's that kind of texture
Yeah,
and it can absorb flavor really well.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So how long were you vegan for?
I was vegan for about 14 years, and then I got pregnant with my son, and this bacon, bacon did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bacon can turn some people, I think. So do you have a cooking background? So what is your kind of background?
Oh, wow. So I grew up in St. Martin. My mom was one of the um, managers in the hotel, on a five-star hotel, and I lived in the hotel for quite a while. My mom passed away, and to be honest, if she ever knew right now that I am actually cooking, she'll roll over. It's like, what? Because I had this habit of when my mom called me and says, "Oh, Esmie, come into the kitchen. You need it." I said, "Okay, mom, I'll be there in a minute." And then I just disappear, going somewhere else. I used to work for Vodafone. And when I took my redundancy, I decided, what do I really like doing? And I thought, oh, I'll go back to uni and learn more about hospitality and get my degree. And when I went into the uni, and I spent 2 months in one of their kitchen, I absolutely love it. And what I couldn't find is good, fresh Caribbean food here. And so I was determined, this is what I'm going to do, good, fresh Caribbean food. There is no reason why you have to go into a Caribbean restaurant and the microwave is pinging all the time. Good, fresh food. And with that, I just started to learn to cook. So I don't have any real training in cooking. It's just a passion, and I love it.
That's really cool. That's really cool to hear. Yeah, because I never really like trained to be a chef. I just I started working in a restaurant when I was 16, just as a KP, and I was just like, just started learning more, and then I started helping out doing the salads and stuff, and then ended up being the kind of starter and dessert person, and then ran the kitchen a couple of times, and just my passion kind of grew and grew. And I think
like some of us.
Sorry. Go on, you go.
I said some of us were born to it. Just that's what I think.
I think really good chefs are not necessarily like, you can train someone to be a good chef, but for me, it's that soul, that passion that you kind of need to have to be a really good chef. And like eating your food the other night, we can tell that you love your food, because it was just really delicious.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm really passionate. And my mom always say, you always have to cook with love. And it is so true. You could tell when someone doesn't love what they're doing when they're cooking. You could taste it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So how has COVID and stuff kind of affected you? I'm guessing it's
really, really hard. And but you know what? I've got a good team. Because at the same point I have to shield as well. And my team kept me going. And, I don't know which way to thank them. And that's it. And I think they wouldn't have kept me going if they didn't believe in what I'm doing. So, I'm really grateful to them. They kept me going and we worked on it together. And we're here. We're here still.
Still going, which is really cool.
Going. Yeah.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to you guys actually being open again and being able to sit in at some point.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Because the food on its own is really, really good. But I think actually at yours because you've got amazing art all over the wall. You've got this real kind of homely, that kind of like Caribbean kind of feel to the restaurant as well.
I think on the upstairs in the restaurant, I had a house built up there, which is like a hut, but it was like a replica of part of the house that we had in St. Kitts. with the views when you fling open the windows and the views straight towards the sea. So I had that replicated upstairs. And yeah, it's a good vibe in the restaurants, really good vibe. Yeah. And
Amazing.
it's like welcoming people into your home, the
Yeah.
real Caribbean spirit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it just like, because we've walked past it a few times, and like we go to Fargo occasionally. We're hoping to go a little bit more when there's kind of more stuff going on. And we're also really looking forward to trying some of the cocktails as well, because the cocktails also sound really delicious.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. So where are you hoping kind of your restaurant and stuff and your street food to go when things kind of go back into some kind of more normality?
Well, we really would like to have a couple more restaurants, and the street food. I absolutely love the street food. We could be so creative in what we're doing and stuff. I think we probably go down the line of franchising with the street food if we can.
That's really cool. Nice. I love street food, and I just love the whole feel and everything that goes along with street food.
Yeah, I don't like to do normal. I hate the normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like the normal. With our street food, we used to serve it before COVID. Our street food in a tortilla bowl, so you can eat everything, and people were always fascinated about that. And we just do our tortilla bowls and our burgers, our dumpling burgers. And
That's really cool. Yeah, it's something a little bit different and makes you kind of stand out, and sometimes quite a noisy market as well. So
yeah, it's very competitive out there. You've got to have your game on.
Yeah, you do. Nice. What's your favorite dish that you like to cook? That's on your let's say what's your favorite dish you like to cook at home, and then what's your favorite dish in your restaurant?
Okay, so my favorite dish is actually, we call it fungi, with steamed fish, which I don't do in the restaurant because of the amount of work, and I'm trying to figure out how to get it in the restaurant and taste fresh all the time. That's like cornmeal. It's a bit like polenta. Mm-hmm. So it's like steamed polenta with steamed fish. That's my favorite dish at home. In the restaurant, I would say oxtail. I love oxtail.
Yeah.
It's amazing sometimes because we try to take the bone out of most of our food because people don't like bones. But the oxtail is one of the biggest sellers. And sometimes we have the little old ladies in here, and I could hear them sucking that oxtail bone from in the kitchen. And I'm totally fascinated with that. But yeah, that
nice.
would be my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to get more kind of like more people okay with bones and stuff. Like I think like I remember having some friends that were like never were interested in KFC because they wouldn't eat on the bone, and then the bone stuff came out and they were like all over it. But like the bones give it flavor, and I think a lot of people people just don't get that.
It's like even when we're cooking our mutton, it's without bone, and it takes so long to get good flavor into it, but the bones add so much flavor.
Yeah, they do. How have you found people reacting to mutton? Because I know that there's the stereotype that mutton is really strong, and we loved it because like we quite like lamb. But I know that some people can get put off by kind of mutton as being like a really strong flavor. But have you found that at all, or?
No, it's our top seller here, and I think it's about the flavors that you put into it, because what is a strong flavor is goat. So we don't cook goat here because it's got a sort of rank flavor to it, very strong. So the mutton, it's about how you season it. It's just that's all it is. If you don't season it properly, you're going to get that strong taste. But if you make sure that you add the correct spices, because you can't cook it bulk cook. It's the worst way to cook. You have to make sure that it's exactly how you would cook it at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think things like lamb and mutton and stuff also help with a low and slow cook as well, which I think that's what you do with your mutton, isn't it?
It's about 3 hours. That bad boy has to cook for about 3 hours. That's right.
Nice. Yeah, I love low and slow cooking. Just getting the best flavor out of it over a long period of time, so it just like falls apart.
I think with the mutton and stuff, one of the things that I learned that you must always do is saute onions and garlic before you put the mutton in, because that adds some intense flavor to that mutton when you're cooking it. Yeah, you definitely have to do onions, garlic, and a bit of ginger. Saute that first.
That's a good tip. That's a really good tip. So online, you can, if you're living in Coventry, you can order food online to pick up, or through the various like Deliveroo and Uber Eats. I think you're with, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then your recipe boxes. Where can they get shipped to?
We ship anywhere in the UK.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So if you're listening to this in the UK, then you can come and check out these like recipe boxes. And we were really tempted to do that over the weekend, but then I was like, it was my first day back, and I was like, let's just get a takeaway. Let's not faff around. And then you also sell your sauces and rubs as well?
Sell sauces and rubs, yeah. And then coming up to summer, we also do barbecue boxes where we marinate all the meats and everything. And then you just got to get your barbie out and slap it on there and get some Esmie's cooking going on.
Nice. I will definitely be trying that out when summer rocks around a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah. So for this roast dinner, what would you recommend that we look at ordering then? So we want to look at your kind of rubs.
Oh, for the rubs?
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally up to you. If you want to go down the line of jerk, the jerk rub works really well. And you've got the barbecue rub. What I have is sometimes I mix both. So I mix the barbecue rub and the jerk rub together and just marinate the chicken with that.
Cool. Yeah, we'll probably, hopefully, we've got a little bit of a budget, so hopefully I will try and get stocked up as much as I can, so we can try a bunch of stuff. And hopefully at some point it'd be nice to, we're going to share the recipe online, but we'd love to get your opinion on the episode as well when it comes out.
I can't wait. Yeah. I'm the owner of Leave It to Esmie. We have a Caribbean restaurant in Coventry. We work with Digbet Dining, and we also at Hop Gardens as well in Birmingham. And we travel all over with our street food. We also do catering for weddings, christenings, funerals. Our restaurant here in Coventry is pretty popular. At the restaurant, we have events like Fish Fridays where people can come and sit, enjoy seafood meals, and alongside our regular menus. Our cocktails are really, really good. And we have rum and reggae probably twice per year where we entertain outside with a DJ, barbecuing, and it's fantastic. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Leave It to Esmie. We also on Deliveroo and Uber Eats, and our website is www.esmies.co.uk.
Thank you everyone for watching this episode, or listening to it if you're listening to the episode. That was a really good conversation. I hope you got to learn a little bit about the Caribbean food and a bit about Esmie herself. If you are in Coventry or around Coventry, definitely go and check her out. You can, like we said in the episode, you can order some of her like spices and bits and bobs on her website. and they deliver the spices all across the UK. But if you're around, come and get some food. It is really, really delicious. We've been quite a few times now. That's it kind of for the podcast. I'm hoping to do the odd bonus episode every now and again. Depends if I can fit it into work. But the other series that I'm working on is crafting mental health awareness, where people can submit their story about their experience with mental health and how crafting's helped. They're just like kind of short little episodes. They're like 10 to 15 minutes long, and you can submit your entry, send over your story. I'll do a simple edit and then I'll post it up on my Instagram and YouTube. But it's a really, really good series. Definitely please go and check it out and share it. Some really, really good conversations and some really, really just beautiful stories going on. Thank you very much, everyone, for supporting the podcast. Make sure you follow me on Instagram @KnitSlips, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.